Can I ask you a favor? Please.
After discovering what happened to the scientists according to the Silver Sky Mines, aka Tuttle, we also learn of their involvement in Annie K's murder, to learn what the spiral in the Night Country mean to these people, and seeing a son kill his own dad to protect his chosen family. With only one episode left, will Liz and Navarro solve this case? As we take a look at the latest trailer for episode 6, part 6 of the season 4 finale of True Detective Night Country, as I'll attempt to break down and solve this case. As the synopsis read for episode 6, in the midst of a brutal storm, Danvers and Navarro find themselves stuck at Solal with no electricity or means of contact. As the truth about what happened to Annie K and the men unfold, Navarro and Danvers each confront the demons from their past. As we open this trailer with Peter, whose clothes are fully removed as he's cleaning up the crime scene after Hank killed Otis and Peter killed Hank. As we have this shot of Peter loading up the truck, we see him next talking to Leah, asking her for a favor. Now, I'm not sure if this shot is immediately after he got done cleaning up, or if he dumped the bodies and came back to Liz's house for further instructions, but I do think it's important to point out what is the favor that he wants from Leah. My best guess is that it might involve giving his wife Kayla a message, because I personally believe that Peter's mentally broken after having to kill his own dad and being responsible for the cover-up. So it might involve a message of him telling Leah to tell Kayla goodbye. We see Liz and Navarro at the highest point where Otis showed Liz on the map as they're about to enter the hidden caves, or as they call it, the Night Country. As we see them walk through the tunnels, Navarro hears, and the closed caption has it being said from Clark, as I would imagine he's been hiding here, at least according to Otis back in episode 4. As we get this overhead shot of the same spiral found on Annie K's last video, which is made of whale bones. As we hear Liz say,
"Should never have touched this case."
I assume this is said after finding what they find in these caves. We get this shot of Liz looking down, which I assume was a close-up of Liz as Navarro heads down this shot, but then I realize she's wearing a different jacket. So it seems as though they either go down to these caves multiple times, or this might be a flashback. As you can see here, she's wearing a white jacket in this shot, but then she's wearing a red one in this one. We see wet footprints, as Navarro says, very similar shot of the same maybe footprints that she saw back in episode 4 when she followed her dead sister Jules. As we see Navarro looking up, and it seems that she's going to follow these steps, and a few things I want to point out here. One being that they're at Solal, which might mean after they first go down the cave, they must have found some trail that led them back to Solal, which most likely is where they have been conducting their research under the land. So it's safe to assume that these caves lead directly into the research center. As we get a quick shot of Liz running down the halls of Solal with her gun drawn, as we cut to seeing Peter breaking the ice. I believe this is him dumping the bodies where Jules' ashes were placed, which to me this is a great callback to when his dad broke the ice to save his son's life, and to now see that son breaking the ice to hide his dad's body after killing him. Now that's what you call coming full circle. As the logo comes up about one episode left, we see a person running as it appears to be Clark, as you'll notice he's wearing Annie K's jacket. I bet Liz and Navarro found him in the caves and they chased him back to his location, and it might be a part of the same scene where we saw Liz having her gun drawn. As we see what I assume might be the entrance of Solal, and there's a person who we don't see their face, but I bet it's Peter meeting them after dumping the bodies. As we get this shot of two hands, now it's safe to assume that one of the hands belongs to Navarro, because we've seen her hands plenty of times this season, but then who's the other hand belong to? My guess is either Annie K's hand, or maybe it's the sea goddess herself in human form, maybe in Annie K's body, and I'm referring to Sedna. You could check out my previous videos to find out who exactly that is. But I also want to point out that this is the same location we saw her back in episode 1 when she served, where we saw that person with their face half missing, in the same place she saw Holden, and also the same place in episode 5 when she was walking on the ice. So I definitely feel like we're finally going to learn why this particular location is important to her, and maybe she'll finally learn her indigenous name. We see Liz screaming out to Navarro, who appears to be in one of those blackout states, which might be what she's doing in the previous shot, just like she did in episode 5 when Rose was calling out to her. As we get our last shot showing Liz falling from the surface into the freezing water. As she's initially in a panic state, but she stops and it appears that she sees something or someone that catches her attention. Now is she seeing a vision of Jake, maybe her son Holden, or maybe that polar bear that we've seen throughout this show? Whatever or whoever it is, I do believe that this will be a defining moment for Liz, and if she finds her way back to the surface, she may become a believer of the supernatural, or maybe we might be witnessing her death. Now, as far as what I hope to see in the finale, there's so many kind of loose ends, but in particular, I want to focus on, I believe we will see a conversation between Liz and Navarro talking to Clark, and he will give them the truth about what actually happened to the scientists, but also give them information on what happened to Annie K. As we know that Hank moved the body, but who was the one that actually killed her? As the synopsis reads, we will learn more about the demons that Liz and Navarro hide. I feel like we'll also learn more information about what actually happened to Jake and Holden, and Liz finally getting the message from her son. I also feel like we'll finally understand the importance of the location that Navarro keeps going to, and also I know the internet's been going crazy about this theory of if Navarro is the killer or not, and what happens when she has these blackouts. But the biggest question of them all, is the spiritual or the supernatural or Setna, the mother of the sea, have anything to do with us seeing the dead people walking around this town? Is there witchcraft involved? Is Blair involved? Or will everything be answered with logic and grounded to reality? Only time will tell. I am so excited for this finale. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get more of my True Detective content. Check out my breakdown for part 5 as well as my after show that I hosted live. Now, I also plan to make a few more theory videos and another trailer breakdown before the finale, so make sure to keep an eye out for that as well. Make sure to also leave your thoughts, your theories about this trailer, and what you all hope to see in the finale. You all are awesome, stay safe, and I'll catch you all on the next video.